Good morning, children. So let's start with the chapter Deep Water. It had happened when I was 10 or 11 years old. I had decided to learn to swim. There was a pool at the YMCA's Young Men's Christian Association in Yakima that offered exactly the opportunity. So, this is the autobiography of William Douglas, and he recalled that when he was 10 or 11 years old, at that time he decided to learn swimming. So at that time there was a pool at YMCA. I have already told you YMCA is the short form of Young Men's Christian Association. This is a worldwide organization in Yakima that offered the opportunity to him to learn there. The Yakima River was the Yakima River was treacherous. Treacherous means deceitful or very dangerous. Mother continually warned against it and kept fresh in my mind the details of each drowning in the river. So, the Yakima River was really very dangerous, and that's why William Douglas' mother just keep warning him about the updates that how many people drowned in the river. But the YMCA pool was really very safe. But the YMCA pool was safe. It was only 2 or 3 feet deep at the shallow end, and while it was 9 feet deep at the other, the drop was gradual. You might have seen the swimming pool in our school also. The swimming pools are always have a gradual slope. Okay, at one end it's shallow, and at the other end it's little bit deep. So he says that it's a very safe because at the one end it was only 2 to 3 feet deep, and at the other it was 9 feet deep. I got a pair of water wings and went to pool. So he just got a pair of water wings. Water wings is just like a rubber rings which has been used by the new trainers, those who don't know how to swim. Okay, and he went to the pool. I hated to walk naked into it and show my skinny legs. So he says that he was really very thin at that time. So he felt very ashamed to go naked there with his very thin skinny legs. But I subdued my pride and did it. Subdued means suppressed. But he suppressed his pride and he did it. He just went into the swimming pool. From the beginning, however, I had an aversion to the water when I was in it. Aversion means dislike. So from the beginning only he had a dislike for water. Okay. Why he had dislike? Let's see. Something had happened when he was really too young. This started when I was 3 or 4 years old, and father took me to the beach in California. He and I stood together in the surf. I hung on to him, yet the waves knocked me down and swept over me. So he says that when he was 3 to 4 years old, at that time he and his father went to the beach in California, and he just hung onto his father, but still the wave just knocked him down and swept over him. I was buried in water. My breath was gone. I was afraid. Sorry, I was frightened. Father laughed, but there was terror in my heart at the overpowering force of the waves. So he says that he thought that his breath was totally gone. He will not able to breathe. His father laughed, but really that experience has a great impact on him, and from that onwards he had a terror in his heart for the waves or for the water. My introduction to the YMCA swimming pool revived unpleasant memories and stirred childish fears. So when he went to YMCA pool at that time, he recalled that unpleasant memories. Which unpleasant memories? When he was with his father to the beach in California. He just recalled all those things. But in a little while, I gathered confidence. I paddled with my new water wings, watching the other boys and trying to learn by aping them. Aping is copying. So he says that, but in a little while, he just gathered the confidence and he's tried to paddle with the new wings. Okay, and he used to just watch the other boys and try to just copy them how they are doing the swimming. I did this 2 or 3 times on different days and was just beginning to feel at ease in the water when the misadventure happened. He says that he just started with this 2 to 3 days ago only, and something had happened with him. Some misadventure had happened, and again he had that terror or aversion to water. Let's see what happened. I went to the pool when no one else was there. The place was quiet, the water was still, and the tiled bottom was as white and clean as a bathtub. So when he went to YMCA pool once, at that time no one was there. There was completely still, the water was still, and he can see the very clean and tiled white bottom as just like a bathtub. Means the swimming pool was just like a bathtub, very clean, and he can see the tile also at the bottom. I was timid about going in alone, so he feel very weak or he feel little bit hesitate to go into the water alone. So I sat on the side of the pool to wait for others. So he just sat there for a while and he was waiting for others to come. I had not been there long when in came a big brochure of a boy, probably 18 years old. So he says that he was not there for a long time, but meanwhile, a big brochure is a bully, the one who has just forced the other boys, impose his own wishes on the other boys. So that bully boy had just came, and he was probably 18 years old. He had a thick hair on his chest. He was a beautiful physical specimen with legs and arms that showed rippling muscles. So he says that he was a very beautiful example or specimen of a perfect man. He has a thick hair on chest, and his arms and his legs have the rippling muscles. Rippling means waving muscles, as nowadays all the actors have. Salman Khan and other actors, they have the rippling muscle. In the same way, that boy had a rippling muscles. He yelled means he shouted, "Hi Skinny, how would you like to be ducked?" So he says he just called him Hi Skinny. He just tried to just make fun of him because he was very thin. With that, he picked me up and tossed me into the deep end. I landed in a sitting position, swallowed water, and went at once to the bottom. He says that the boy had just picked him up and thrown him into the swimming pool. And in a sitting position, okay, he straight went to the bottom. I was frightened, but not yet frightened out of my wits. He was frightened, but still he was not out of his wits. He was still conscious. Okay, he has not lost his senses. On the way down, I planned when my feet hit the bottom, I would make a big jump, come to the surface, lie flat on it, and paddle to the edge of the pool. So he says that he had a plan that when his feet are going to touch the bottom, he would make a big jump, okay, and he would just come on the surface, and then he will just paddle and manage to come at the edge of the pool. It seemed a long way down. Those 9 feet were more like 90. So for him, that 9 feet seems to be 90. It takes a lot of time for him to come at the bottom. And before I touched bottom, my lungs were ready to burst. But when my feet hit bottom, I summoned all my strength and made what I thought was a great spring upward. So he says that before he reached, his lungs were just about to burst because of fear. So when his feet touched the bottom, at that time he just collected his strength, and he thought to have a great jump upwards, so that he can come on the surface of the water, and then he will paddle and he can reach at the to the edge of the pool. I imagined I would bob to the surface like a cock. Bob means come up. So he imagined that just as the cock opens with a force, in the same way he would just come upwards to the surface like a cock. Instead, I came up slowly. I opened my eyes and saw nothing but water that had a dirty yellow tinge to it. So he said, but when he opened his eyes, he didn't see anything except water. Okay, so he says that he didn't see anything but the yellow tinge. It may be the water is yellow, maybe because of the lights inside the swimming pool. I gripped panicky. I re I reached up as if to grab a rope, and my hands clutched only at water. He says that he tried to grab the rope, but whenever he tried to grab the rope, what he clutched, he just got the water only. I was suffocating. I tried to yell, but no sound came out. Then my eyes and nose came out of water, but not my mouth. He says that he felt very suffocated. He tried to yell, he tried to shout, but no sound came. His eyes and nose came out of the water, but not his mouth. I flared at the surface of the water, swallowed and choked. I tried to bring my legs up, but they hang as dead weights, paralyzed and rigid. So he said flared means moving without control. So it seems that his body was just floating, you may say in other words, at the surface of the water, and he just swallowed and his throat was just choked. He tried to bring his legs up, but they hung as the dead weights. His legs had become very paralyzed and rigid. A great force was pulling me under. I screamed, but only the water heard me. He says, it seems that a force was just pulling him downwards. He screamed, but there was no one to listen him except water. I had started on the long journey back to the bottom. Again he came down, again he had to start his journey from the bottom to the surface of the pool. I struck at the water as I went down, expanding my strength as one in a nightmare fights an irresistible force. So he says that I stuck at the water as I went down. Seeing that he just stuck there at the water when he just went down, expanding my strength as one in a nightmare fights irresistible. He says that it seems that his fight, his strength, his force is useless. It's just like a nightmare. He thought that he will not able to come out. I had lost all my breath. My lungs ached. My head throbbed. I was getting dizzy. He thought that he has lost his breath, his lungs were just aching, paining, his head was just throbbing, and he felt very dizzy, that he has giddiness, that he is going to just something unconscious. But I remembered the strategy. I would spring means jump, from the bottom of the pool and come like a cock to surface. Though he was feeling very unconscious, he has lost his breath, his legs, his rigid, paralyzed, his head was throbbing, but still he knows his strategy very well. That when he is going to make a big jump, he will just come up like a cock. I would lie flat on the water, strike out with my arms, and thrush, thrush with my legs. Then I would get to the edge of the pool and be safe. So he thought that he would just lie on the water, strike out with his arms. He is going to strike out and thresh with his legs, and then he would just come. These are his thinkings. I went down, down endlessly. I opened my eyes. Nothing but water with a yellow glow, dark water that one could not see through. So he came down and down endlessly, and when he opened, he finally water, yellow water, dark water, maybe because of the different colors of light in the swimming pool. And then Sheer stark terror seized me. Terror that knows no understanding, terror that knows no control, terror that no one can understand who has not experienced it. So he says that then he had a terror had just caught him. He says that it's very difficult to make someone understand the terror, and he says that terror that knows no control. He says that no one has a control over the terror, though one decide that he's not going to afraid or frightened, but this comes naturally. And he says that the one who has not experienced, that person cannot understand this feeling very well. I was shrieking underwater. I was paralyzed underwater, stiff, rigid, and with fear. Even the screams in my throat were frozen. Only my heart and the pounding in my head said that I was still alive. He said that his heart and head was was saying that he was alive. Otherwise, his throat was not working. His arms, his legs, they all were paralyzed, rigid. Okay, so he says that only the beating of the throbbing of the heart and his head was pounding. That he knew one's strategy very well. That when he's going to push his feet, he's going to come up like a cock. That two things only just make him alive. And then in the midst of the terror came a touch of reason. I must remember to jump when I hit the bottom. He says that, but he knows very well this much. This is the repetition. At last, I felt the tiles under me. My toes reached out as if to grab them. I jumped with everything I had. But the jump made no difference. The water was still around me. I looked for ropes, ladders, water wings, nothing but water. He says that he made a jump, but there was no difference. He looked for the ropes, ladders, and water wings to help, but he didn't get anything except water. A mass of yellow water held me. Stark terror took an even deeper hold on me, like a great charge of electricity. And he says that the terror has just took him more deeper and hold has a complete hold on him, just like a great charge of electricity. I shook and trembled with fright. My arms wouldn't move, my legs wouldn't move. I tried to call for help, to call for mother. Nothing happened. So he says that he liked to call for the help, he liked to shout, he liked to yell, but his throat was totally choked. He says that he was just helpless, and the terror has just completely hold him, and or the complete catch hold of him. And then strangely there was light. I was coming out of the awful yellow water. At least my eyes were. My nose was almost out too. So he seemed that yes, he's coming out of the water. It seems he was feeling like this, that his nose and eyes are coming out of water. Then I started down a third time. I sucked for air and got water. So he tried to breathe, but when he tried to breathe, in spite of air, he got water only. The yellowish light was going out. Then all efforts ceased. So he says that he has stopped all his efforts. I relaxed. Even my legs felt limp, and a blackness swept over my brain. It wiped out fear. It wiped out terror. He says that now not only the organs or legs and his brain, everything just stopped working. He felt very unconscious. He just wanted to shout for the help, but nothing happened. Everything was in vain. There was no more panic. It was quiet and peaceful. Nothing to be afraid of. This is nice to be drowsy, to go to sleep, no need to jump, too tired to jump. It's nice to be carried gently, to float along in space, tender arms around me, tender arms like mothers. Now I must go to sleep. So now he has just ceased his all efforts. He knew very well that he has lost the battle. He has just surrendered, he has just given up. His heart was just throbbing, his mind had just stopped working. He was feeling drowsy. Now he don't have fear, but he was feeling drowsy. There was a completely still, peaceful, peace in uh, peace in his mind, and he liked to be just sleep. And he thinks that the tender arms of his mother was just calling him, and he just wanted to sleep. I crossed to oblivion and the curtain of life fell. So he says that he crossed everything and the curtain of life was fell. Means he don't know what happens afterwards. He become unconscious, he becomes faint. So till now whatever we have read, okay, complete 1.5 page is upon his experience that when a boy had just thrown or ducked him into the or tossed him into the swimming pool, how he experienced. This can come as 6 mark question. It's very important that how he felt when a boy of 18 years had just tossed him into the swimming pool. So 1.5 page, the entire page, the experience of William Douglas. So you have to learn it. This may come as 6 marks question. Let's continue. The text I remember was lying on the next I remember was lying on my stomach beside the pool vomiting. The chap that threw me in was saying, "But I was only fooling. Someone said the kid nearly died. Be all right now. Let's carry him to the locker room." So he says that when he come to consciousness, he come at that time he saw that he was lying on his stomach and he was vomiting, and the boy, okay, he was the one who had just thrown him into swimming pool was just saying that he was just fooling, he was just kidding with him, okay. And the someone just told that the boy might have died. So they just took him to the locker room. Several hours later I walked home. I was weak, trembling. I shook and cried when I lay on my bed. I couldn't eat that night. For days a haunting fear was in my heart. The slightest exertion upset me, making me wobbly in the knees and sick to my stomach. He says that after several hours he went to his home. He felt very weak and he was still trembling with fear. That night he didn't eat anything, but after that also for so many days that fear had just overpowered him. Okay, there's a great impact on him. A slightest exertion also just upset him. He had a wobble. His means his knees were just shaking, wobbling. I never went back to the pool. I feared water. I avoided it whenever I could. He says that afterwards he never went to the swimming pool. He had a great fear and he liked to, and he avoided to go there. A few years later, when I came to know the waters of the Cascades, I wanted to get into them. And whenever I did, whether I was wading the Titan or bumping river or bathing in warm lake of the goat rocks, the terror that had seized me in the pool would come back. So he says that whenever he wanted to go to the waterfall, stream or river for the swimming or for the bathing or for the near the beach or like this, every time he had the same experience revived. That the terror just caught him. It would take possession of me completely. My legs would become paralyzed. Icy horror would grab my heart. So every time he had a horror, and the terror had just taken complete possession on him, and he was unable to go. This handicap stayed with me as years rolled by. So, which handicap, the fear of or aversion to water, had just stayed with him for so many years. In canoes on main lakes, fishing or landlocked salmon. Salmon is a type of fish. Bass fishing in New Hampshire. So he says that bass fishing is the name of the fish. Okay. Trout is also a type of fish. Trout fishing on the Deschutes and Metolius in Oregon. Fishing for salmon on the Columbia at Bumping Lake in the Cascades. Wherever I went, the haunting fear of the water followed me. I ruined, mark this one. So he says wherever he has just gone to various places for the fishing or for the canoeing. He always the previous terror has just seized him. Mark this line: I ruined my fishing trips, deprived me of the joy of canoeing, boating, and swimming. So, because of this, he had just postponed. He has cancelled his fishing trips or his joy of canoeing. Canoeing is a small boat. Boating means is a type of boat. Boating and swimming. I used every way to knew to overcome this fear, but it held me firmly in its grip. Finally, one October, I decided to get an instructor and learn to swim. So he says that once he was very much determined and he thought to get one instructor and to learn swimming. This can also come as 6 mark question, that how an instructor built a swimmer out of Douglas. So the entire paragraph is very important. I went to a pool and practiced 5 days a week and each an hour each day. The instructor put a belt around me, a rope attached to the belt went through a pulley, then ran on an overhead cable. He held on the end of the pool and we went back and forth across the pool hour after hour, day after day, week after week. So says that 5 days he was he was practicing with the instructor. The instructor just put a belt around him. A rope was also attached to the belt through a pulley, and every time he was taught to go back or forth, means in front, okay, then front or back, like this, sometimes hour, and then he started days and then weeks. On each trip across the pool, a bit of the panic seized me. Every time he went there in the swimming pool, again he had the same panic or the same terror seized him. Each time the instructor relaxed his hold on the rope and I went under, some of the old terror returned and my legs frozen. So every time the instructor just loose the rope so that he can go more and more deep into the water. And every time when he just went there, he had a terror that has just seized him. It, it was 3 months before the tension began to slack. Slack means little bit passive. So before 3 months only, this terror, this fear had just become little bit passive. Then he taught me to put my face under water and exhale, and to raise my nose and inhale. So slowly the instructor just taught him to put his face under water and to exhale and to raise his nose and inhale. I repeated the exercise hundreds of times. Bit by bit, I shared part of the panic that seized me when my head went underwater. So, bit by bit, he had just taught him how to swim slowly. Thank you, children.